Think you are up to date with current events? Find out by correctly answering 10 contemporary, current events trivia quiz questions. We give you a news headline, and you will guess the missing word or phrase. When you know the answer, just blurt it out, and if correct,
Lakers.
keep track of your winning points in your head, with a pen, or with a counter.
Think you can get 10 out of 10? Well, crikey, try it mate, you might surprise yourself.
Each quiz question is worth 1 point. The 5th and 10th questions in today's quiz are genius level questions, are extremely difficult, and as such are worth 3 points each. Don't worry if you miss some of these difficult questions, since our audiences usually only have about a 10% chance of a correct answer in this category, so if you get any of these genius-level answers, consider yourself very clever, indeed. As a reward for trying all 10 of today's questions, we have a bonus comedy clip for your enjoyment, presented after the 10th and final question. Now, sit back and get ready for the first question of our show. State election officials across the U.S. are reporting record numbers of voters casting their ballots ahead of blank on the 3rd of November. The answer is Election Day. Reports indicate that registered Democrats have so far outvoted registered Republicans, casting more than double the number of ballots. And of these early voting Democrats, women and Black Americans are voting in particularly high numbers. A middle school history teacher in France was knifed to death near the school where earlier this month he had shown his pupils blanks of the Prophet Muhammad. The answer is cartoon. The attacker was shot dead by a police patrol a few streets away from the scene of the attack late on Friday afternoon, in a residential suburb northwest of Paris. New Zealanders head to the polls as PM blank seeks a second term. The answer is Ardern. Ardern brought homemade cheese scones to campaign volunteers in Auckland and appeared relaxed as she awaited results, which will be announced later in the evening. Melania Trump worries that controversy is distracting from her work for blanks. The answer is kid. Though Melania Trump's press coverage has never been particularly flattering over the nearly 4 years she has been the First Lady, the recent controversy over tapes released by her former friend and staffer Stephanie Winston Wolkoff surely represents a new low. Here comes a genius-level question. It is worth 3 points, so concentrate on this tough one. A California man spurned by a female coworker has been jailed for 2.5 years after putting his blank in her water bottle, a jar of honey and on her computer's keyboard. The answer is ejaculate. The woman reported the issue to her boss, who spoke to Milancastro. But his unwanted behavior continued. The coworker then filed a formal human resources complaint, which led to Milancastro masturbating at work 8 times in 2016 and using his bodily fluids to get back at her. President Trump joked that he would have to blank if he loses the upcoming presidential election against Democratic nominee Joe Biden. The answer is leave the country. I will deliver optimism, opportunity and hope, and that's what we're doing, and this is why we have this kind of spirit, and I hate to say it because I don't want to insult Georgia, but it's this way all over our country, Trump told a cheering crowd at a campaign event. Texas billionaire Bob Brockman charged with biggest blank case in U.S. history. Feds say losses total $2 billion. The answer is tax evasion. Brockman, 79, was charged in a 39-count indictment that includes charges of money laundering, conspiracy, wire fraud, and tax evasion. The 42-page indictment, unsealed Thursday morning, alleges that in the late 1990s, Brockman formed companies on the British Virgin Islands and later used them to conceal assets from the IRS. Rock goddess Tina Turner did it. So did Facebook co-founder Eduardo Saverin and, later, British Prime Minister Boris Johnson. All were Americans by birth or naturalization who decided to blank their citizenship. The answer is renounce. In the past decade, nearly 37,000 Americans expatriated, according to the Federal Register, the official journal of the federal government, which publishes the list of names quarterly. But this year promises to set a record. Their blanks feds say plot to kidnap Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer was dangerous, poorly planned. The answer is amateur. Just because they weren't successful doesn't mean they weren't dangerous. This is what the prosecution argued in court Friday in convincing a judge to order 6 men to stand trial on charges they plotted for months to kidnap Governor Gretchen Whitmer because they were angry over her lockdown order. This is your chance to score a quick 3 points on the next quiz question. He was nearly paralyzed, he's lucky to be recovering at all. Blanks. Friends say he has a long, hard road ahead after breaking his back in an e-bike fall. The answer is Simon Cowell. 10 weeks ago, Simon Cowell suffered a horrifying fall. He was testing an electric bike and, after underestimating its power, was thrown off, breaking his back in 3 places. He had a 6.5-hour operation to fuse the brakes in his spine, having come just millimeters away from being paralyzed. Well done. And now, here is the reward for your patience and skill. Have a terrific day, you deserve it, and remember to social distance.
gets lonely out here on my deserted island. Thank crikey I have my AI trivia game to play every morning. Make it a habit and subscribe now, and you too can start your day with 10 minutes of great fun. And you just might learn something. See you again tomorrow.